Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm filming the 2021 Toyota Venza. Toyota has brought the Venza back after nearly 5 to 6 years off the US market, and they brought it back as a hybrid version. You guys have been asking me for the last couple months to film a 2021 Toyota Venza, and finally my local dealership here in the South Florida area has finally gotten one. So I'm filming it for you guys today. It's been here for about 2 days, but the weather here in Miami has just been a little crazy with the clouds and all this extra rain and whatnot. But taking a look underneath the hood here of the Venza, my Tesla has Toyota's 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that makes 219 horsepower. Toyota does not quote their actual torque output numbers for the hybrid system, as the Venza sits weighs around 3,800 pounds. Fuel economy for the Venza is rated at 40 in the city, 37 on the highway, and 39 combined. So it has really good fuel economy numbers compared to the previous generation. Closing the hood here. Honestly, when I first seen the Venza, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did not like the exterior styling, but seeing it in person, it actually grew on me. These headlights are gonna be standard equipment. They're gonna be a full LED with an LED low and high beam with an LED turn signal and LED daytime running light. There's front parking sensors here. I like the chrome trim that you get with my Tester. My Tester is painted in this Blizzard Pearl exterior color, which is really nice with the chrome and black accents. There's your Toyota emblem here. It's painted in this blue background to let everyone know that you actually have the hybrid trim. And the Venza is only going to come as a hybrid instead of what they used to offer with the old generation powertrain. I do like this chrome on the actual front face here. I want you guys to comment down below in the comment section, what do you think about the all-new redesigned Toyota Venza? Looking at the side profile here of the Toyota Venza, starting with these tires and wheels, these are a 225/55 width tire. They're wrapped in this Bridgestone tires, so pretty good tires on the market. This is a 19-inch rim design. I like the alloy finish here, 4 disc brakes for all 4 wheels. There's a subtle hybrid badge here on the side fender, an LED side marker here. My Tester is missing the Stargaze sunroof. There's these aluminum painted roof rails here. The wheelbase for the Venza is 105.1 with an overall length of 186.6. That's right between the RAV4 and also the Toyota Highlander. So looking at the rear of the Toyota Venza, there's this rear spoiler here, the third brake light which lives up here. There's this rear wiper to keep the rear glass clean. These are the actual brake lights. The turn signals and reverse lights are going to be down here, integrated into the actual bumper. There's rear parking sensors, more chrome trim, and the bumper here is painted in this black material, and it's going to be a plastic bumper here, dual tip exhaust, just like on the actual RAV4. Your Venza badge is here, your Toyota emblem, the XLE hybrid badge which is there. Once you open up the cargo capacity back here, this is a power lift gate. It opens slow, in my honest opinion. Once you open up the cargo back here, Toyota says you get around 29 cubic feet of space. Once you fold down all the seats, you get around 55.1 cubic feet of space. And unfortunately, there's no latches back here to let down these rear seats. You have to go through the actual back door to lower down the rear seats by grabbing the latches back there. There is LED lights back here for the cargo. Once you lift up this low floor here, Toyota gives you a spare tire instead of a fix-a-fat kit. And if you want to close down the power lift gate, you can either press the button here or you can just apply a little pressure and it will close by itself. But let's hop into the interior of the Toyota Venza. Sitting inside the interior of the all-new redesigned 2021 Toyota Venza, looking at this interior here, I'm not a big fan of this interior, but shutting the door here, door has a nice solid slam. To start up the Venza, just put your foot on the brake and press the power button here. As you guys hear, there's no traditional combustion engine noise because they use the electric motors to start everything up. But looking at the materials here, is going to be a nice soft touch material here. There's this stitching here on the actual door panel. There's even a soft touch here. Down here, there's a nice area to rest your elbows, a nice handle, some aluminum style trim here. It is one touch up, touch down for all 4 windows. You can lock the windows here, your lock controls. You can power fold the mirrors in, and you can adjust the mirrors here with this little rotary dial. There's your dimmer switches here, an automatic high beam switch there, stability control. I'm missing some functions here. A heated steering wheel button, your trunk release, a nice area, padded area here with more stitching. Your headlight stock is going to be here. Nice leather wrap steering wheel. You have this little pad here to cycle through this LCD display, which shows you your audio sources, your driving support, which includes emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring, lane trace assist, your fuel economy, which pops up here. You get around 40 miles to the gallon in the city. Like I mentioned, this does have the different things I talked about, which is your lane keep assist, forward collision warning, blind spot monitoring, parking sensors, and rear cross traffic alert. You can just customize this how you like. There's this power meter here because this is the actual hybrid version. Just like in the RAV4 has the same display, they kind of change up the speedometer, how the way it looks. And your fuel gauge is going to be down there. There's a forward collision warning button here, lane departure, your adaptive cruise control, your radio presets, your volume controls, your voice command controls as well. You have this button here to back out of that 3-spoke wheel design, just like off the RAV4, the same steering wheel off the RAV4, and your wind wiper stock is going to be there. The upper part of the dashboard here is going to be a nice soft touch material, but back here it's going to be a hard touch plastic. My tester is missing the 12.3 system here. This is just a 8-inch or 9-inch display. There's some dedicated hard buttons here, which for your home, your menu, audio, map, your sync, your tracking, your phone, and different apps. Swiping through here, you have your projection, which has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, like I mentioned. So once you have your phone connected, you have to connect it through here with the USB. There's no USB-Cs in this car, so surprised to see that. But there's an aux port and a wireless charging pad, which is tucked in here. There's more of that weird like trim here. You also get this on the door panel as well. So of course it's going to be a plastic as well. Your electronic parking brake, auto hold, and EV mode here. You can drive this thing only in electric once it charges up the battery. You can drive this thing around 25 miles an hour or under 25 miles an hour, and you can only trickle in electric mode for about 2 to 3 miles. You have different drive modes, which includes normal, sport, and eco. Honestly, I would just leave this thing in just normal mode, because sport mode is, you're not going to win any drag races with this Venza here. 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds. Toyota claims. Putting the Venza into reverse. This is backup camera here with trajectory, distance markers, front and rear parking sensors. You have this wide mode here so you can see what's coming. It does have rear cross traffic alert as well. So if there's something coming behind you, the car will basically put the brakes on for you. Putting it down to drive here and kicking it over to the actual left. There's a sport mode here, but honestly I'll just leave this thing in normal because this is a hybrid and you're not going to win any drag races with this thing. There's 2 cup holders here, a nice area here, and my tester has the heated and ventilated seats. There are 3 levels. Looking inside here, there's this removable tray, a deep amount of storage in here with a 12-volt. You can slide this forward and back. You can't really tell if you had heated or cool seats because this lid here gets in the way, so you have to slide this thing back to see or to access the heated or cool seats. My tester has these soft tex leather seats, which is a part of a package, which is $510. They feel really good. Like I mentioned, they're heated and cool seats. You can definitely go on a long road trip with these seats. Even in the back seats, Toyota do give you that soft tex leather seat, so they didn't cheap out back there. There's this soft touch material here with more stitching. Sport does have a nice soft touch material. Just like I mentioned, it's a soft touch here, but back here it's going to be a hard touch plastic, an area where you're not going to really touch. Open up the glove box here. It's damp, but it's not lined with felt. But overall, the interior in here has some nice materials, but honestly, I don't like how the interior in here looks of the all-new Venza. I wish Toyota would have did a little bit more, but I want you guys to comment down in the comment section below. Do you like the interior of the all-new redesigned Toyota Venza? So getting into the back seat of the Venza here and shutting the door. The door sounds nice and solid. The materials back here are going to be the same material that's in the actual front seat. So Toyota didn't do any cost cutting when it came to the back seat materials. There are 2 map pockets here with rear air vents, 2 quick charging USB ports down here. The floor back here is not flat, but Toyota says you get around 38.1 inches of legroom. You can definitely fit 3 full-size adults back here. My tester has these soft tex leather seats, which is part of a package. Putting this armrest down here, there are 2 cup holders, and surprised to see that there's no heated or cool seats back here. And my tester is missing the Stargaze sunroof, and there's LED light throughout the whole entire cabin. Kicking off the driving impressions here of the all-new 2021 Toyota Venza. Toyota has brought the Venza back as a hybrid, giving this thing some really good fuel economy numbers. It's rated at 40 in the city, 37 on the highway, and 39 combined, like I mentioned. So really good fuel economy. This is a fuel efficient SUV. Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 is going to be standard. That rolls in rear cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning, adaptive cruise control, lane trace assist, lane keep assist. So Toyota does give this the best driver's assistance that they have to offer, and they do not charge you like some of the other competitors will charge you for their driver's assistance. Visibility out of the Venza is really good. The mirrors here are not actually attached to the actual body of the car. They're attached to the actual door frame. So there's this little window here so you can look around or have good visibility out of here. Visibility out of the rear is really good. If anything, you can lower down those rear seats. The headrests kind of get in the way, but you know, it's not restrained or anything. But you do have good visibility out of the rear of the Venza. It's not like that old eggshell style looking Venza that they offered about 5 to 6 years ago. But the Venza was gone off of the American market for about 5 or 6 years, but Toyota brought it back as a hybrid version, and honestly, really good powertrain. This is the same 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, makes 219 horsepower. I'm gonna put into actual sport mode, and Toyota says 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds. So I'm gonna put into the actual sport mode. I'm just gonna just floor it. And honestly, that did feel like 7.5 seconds, honestly. But you're not gonna buy this thing to go to basically go drag race or anything like that. You're gonna just have this thing in normal or in actual eco mode. But putting it back into eco mode, honestly, you're gonna get the best fuel economy. Me putting my foot down there, I'm averaging around like 38 miles to the gallon. So you know, it's really good fuel efficiency, especially with this being an actual hybrid version. Toyota has really good technology when it comes to their hybrid system. Surprised to see they don't have any full-on electric vehicles just yet in their portfolio, but just driving this thing really quietly. Let me see if I can put it in EV mode. It's actually in EV mode. Honestly, you can coast. Once you go over like 25 miles an hour, it kicks you out of electric mode. So Toyota, you need to beef up the batteries and give this thing a little bit more of electric range instead of like 2 or 3 miles of electric range. Honestly, right now I'm just cruising, and honestly it's dead quiet in here, but it's just like the range is so low and you have to drive at a slow pace. So just in case you're in your neighborhood, you can just drive this thing along your neighborhood if the speed limit is under 30 miles an hour. But as you guys can hear, the gasoline engine kick back on. Put my foot down. It doesn't sound as bad, but it's a really peppy engine, and Toyota did a really good job with the actual powertrain of this car. This has their CVT transmission. The seats in here, my Tesla has these soft tex leather bucket seats, which is a part of a $510 option. Honestly, the 3-level heated and ventilated seats, so honestly I would spec that in. Surprised to see that Toyota doesn't make that standard, but really good soft tex leather seats here. I'm gonna hit a couple of the potholes here. Like I mentioned, this is the road where I normally film some of the cars on, and the roads back here are crappy. You can hear the tires just bouncing on the like messed up roads basically, but the interior here is quiet. Besides the bouncy noise, it's really smooth. But I just wish Toyota would beef up the batteries to give you more of electric range instead of the combustion engine kicking back on and whatnot. But honestly, the powertrain, like I mentioned, is a really well-did powertrain. If you drive this thing really slow, you can really hit over 40 miles to the gallon, honestly, and I would believe that. Like right now, I'm in EV mode. I'm in EV, and I'm going like 17 miles an hour. So like I mentioned, if you're in your neighborhood, you can just cruise along just in electric mode. Once you reach 25 miles an hour, it's gonna disable the actual electric mode. But I'm gonna do another slight acceleration run just because I'm gonna keep it in eco. Let me see if I can tell the difference between sport and eco mode. I'm going to brake torque it. And this does have Toyota's all-wheel drive system, so that's a electric motor powering the rear. Oof. That felt a little faster compared to having it in sport mode, maybe because I brake torqued it, but it did feel just a smudge a little bit faster. But I'm going to try out the actual driver's assistance here. I'm going to set it for the adaptive cruise control. And there you go. But it does not change lanes for you, so you have to keep that in mind. But it will do a good job of keeping you centered in your lane, and it's not going to ping pong you back and forth. So I have set it to 38 miles an hour, and my hands are off the wheel. It's navigating me back and forth. It's not ping ponging me, but it's vibrating to tell me to put my hands back on the wheel. So Toyota should let the timer, when you have your hand off the wheel, a little bit longer. But it does do a really good job of keeping you in your lane. Toyota does a really good job with their driver's assistance, but once it picks up that there's actual markings in the road, it would do a really good job. But I wish, like I mentioned, they should just beef up the actual battery. After spending time with the Toyota Venza, this vehicle has an upscaled interior, even though it's the XLE trim, and also has a really smooth ride quality. So how much does a Venza cost? Starting price for my tester here is $36,000. It does have some optional equipment, which rolls in the paint protection, which is $618, including the soft tex leather seats, which is heated and cooled. That's $510, and the carpet floor mats. My tester stickers for $39,429. I'd like to give a special thanks to South Dade Toyota for providing me with the 2021 Toyota Venza. If you're in the market for a 2021 Toyota Venza, you can come to South Dade Toyota and ask for Wilford or the general manager Tony. And I hope you guys have enjoyed my full overview on the 2021 Toyota Venza Hybrid. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews, and please keep subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll catch you all in the next video.